To solve this problem, first you need to bring the decimal down. Then add 2 plus 0 and 6 plus 9. And then you would add 5 plus 1, which would be 6, and 6 plus 2 to be 8. And then 0 plus 1 would be 1. And then you would add the negative sign. So your answer would be negative 18 and 52 hundredths. For this problem, first you would start with bringing the decimal down. Then 9 minus 0 is 9. And since you can't do 6 minus 3, you would borrow from the 5 and you would make that a 4. And then it would be 13 minus 6, which you would get 7. And 4 minus 2 would be 2. And then 1 minus 0 would be 0. So your answer that you would come up with would be 12 and 79 hundredths. To solve this problem, you would need to do 2 times 7, which would be 14, and 4 times 7, which would be 28, and then you would add up the decimal places, so 2 plus 1 would be 3, and so you move it over 3, so 1, 2, 3, and your answer would be 2.814. And so your answer would be 2 and 814 thousandths.
What did you get? Did you get that?
So, to do this problem, you would have to move the decimal place, which is shown in the 0.2, moved to behind the 2. And since the decimal point is in between the 1 and the 0, you'd move it in between the 0 and the 6. Now, you place the decimal point up above the decimal point in between the 0 and the 6. So 2 goes into 10 5 times. Drop the 6. And 2 goes into 6 3 times. So minus 6 would equal 0. So your answer would come out to be 5.3. To do this problem, you would have to use the inverse property of addition. So, to this, you would add plus 5.8 to both places. And then you don't really need this part over here, so you can just mark that out. But what you do need to do is do 2 plus 8, which equals 10. Don't forget to put that decimal point down, carry it down. 1 plus 1 would be 2, and 2 plus 5 is 7. So W would equal 7.0, or also known as just 7. So that is our answer. For this problem, we will have to use the inverse property of subtraction. So, for this problem, K plus 3.91 would equal 28. So, for this one, you need to subtract 3.91 to get your answer of K. So on each side, show that you are doing 3.91, and then you really don't need this part over here anymore, because that will just confuse you. Now, you will have to borrow. So that will become a 7. This will become a 10, but now it will become a 9, since you have to borrow over here. So 10 minus 1 equals 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. Bring down that decimal, and 7 minus 3 is 4. And bring down that 2, since there is a 0. For your placeholder, you bring down that 2, so then your answer would come out to be 24.09 equals K. For this problem, we will use the inverse property of multiplication. For this problem, we will have to divide 1.2. So for this one, you will divide here, and you really don't need this part right here. So 1.44 divided by 1.2. You move your decimal over here, and you move your decimal here. So 12 goes into 14 once. Minus 12 would be 24. 12 goes into 24 2 times. So your answer would come out to be y equals negative 1.2. Since the answer 1.44 is already a negative, different signs would equal a negative answer. For this problem, we will be doing the inverse property of multiplication, since it is division. So we will have to times n divided by 8.2 times 8.2. So negative 0.6 would have to be multiplied by 8.2. Now, to do this, 8.2 times 0.6 would be 12. So then that would be 4849. Carry that decimal down. So our answer of n would equal 49.2. To answer this problem, we already have the least common denominators. So we would do so 3/5 would be our answer. For this problem, we will have to find our least common denominator. So now we need to find out if 2 goes into 24. So 2 can go into 24, so 12 times. Whoops. So our LCM would be 24. So now since we found our LCM, we can go on to the next thing. So now we would do 21 over 24 equals 21 over 24, and 1/2 over 24. So 2 times 24 is 12, so 1 times 12 is 12. So now we would subtract 21 over 24 minus 12 over 24, which would equal 21 minus 12 over 24, which would then equal 'So as our final answer, we would get 9 over 24, but we need to simplify it by dividing it by 3 in both places to get 3/8 as our answer. For this problem, we will have to do 1/4 times -2/3. So we can, so now we would make this a -1, and make this a 2. So then this would be -1 over 6. So our answer would be -1/6. So for this problem of 3/4 divided by 6/7, you would do 3/4 divided by 7/6, so 3, and then change it into a multiplication problem. And our answer would be 21/24. So for this problem, it will be n plus 1/6 equals 5/6. So to do this, you'll have to subtract 1/6 on both sides of the equal sign. So since it would come up with 4/6, you would simplify to get 2/3. For this problem, we will have to add 1/5 to each side of the equal sign. So 3/5 plus 1/5 would equal 4/5. And this would be our answer since we can't simplify 4/5. So for this problem, since it's 1/5 times x to equal 4, you would actually do 4/1. So this problem would be you would have to find the reciprocal of 1/5, so it would be 5/1, and then you would multiply it by 4/1. So you would do 5 times 4, which would equal 20/1. So then this problem would be, since it's 20/1, the answer would be 20. For this problem, you would have to do 6/1. So you will have to find the reciprocal of 6/1, so that would be 1/6 times 1/2. So then this would equal 1/12. So